Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining me. And thank you, Minds and Money. It's been, I think, an excellent event online. So thanks for joining me online. I'm MD for Aeon Metals, and I've got 10 minutes. So what I'll do is go very high level, and you'll find this presentation on our website. I'll take this cautionary statement as read. Okay, straight into it. Aeon Metals is all about copper and cobalt. From a revenue status, it's pretty much 50-50. So both exciting metals. And what I will say is there aren't many copper cobalt projects out globally, and outside of the Congo, there's very few as well. So we're an advanced project. We own the project 100%. In terms of copper, importantly, also there aren't many copper developments, near-term copper developments, of which we are one. The project resource is a sulfide project, so not a laterite, it's a sulfide. So once again, a standout in terms of grade and mineralogy. We're very lucky this year. Obviously, the COVID's been horrible. But we're lucky to the fact that we actually don't need to drill anymore to get a pre-feasibility finished. So we've done many years of drilling. We've drilled 70,000 plus meters of drilling in the last 5-6 years to get us to a point where this year, luckily, it's been desktop work. Obviously, we haven't been able to get on site this year. To do certain pieces of work. However, we're lucky to do the PFS. We did a scoping study last year, which outlines the broad parameters of what we're looking for in terms of PFS. As you can see there, 11-year mine life. In terms of size, we're looking at a 2 million tonne per annum style process facility. In terms of output, copper cobalt, but it also has quite a lot of lead zinc, and we actually contain 36 million ounces of silver as well. So on a copper equivalent, on an output basis, the project's in the order of 42,500 tonnes per annum copper equivalent project. So a mid-tier copper project. I won't go through the scoping study details. You'll see that as a detailed announcement in October last year, which goes through that. We're currently undertaking pre-feasibility study. It has been put back slightly due to the COVID. We're based in Sydney. The team here, my engineer here, myself, Ausenco are undertaking the PFS. They're based in Brisbane. That's caused a few setbacks, but not too many. And we will be getting the PFS out in the near term, which is exciting for the company. In terms of where we are, we're way up, 350 kilometres north of Mount Isa. Access is actually very good. Roads are good. There's water, plenty of water, artesian water. Power is an interesting one. There's obviously no grid there. We'll be looking at power solution, and we're currently looking at renewable energy. We also have the option of power line extension from Century. So that will all come out in the PFS, and all very exciting for us. In terms of resource, it's I guess the takeaway for everyone here is the current resource for that 10-11-year mine plus is based on 3.6 kilometres. It's a structurally bound geology, so there's a major fault. The resource sits on the fault. That fault we know goes for within our tenement over 20 kilometres. We've drilled over 10 kilometres of it, and it continues. In terms of the mineralogy, we've also pegged a big block of land as the fault effectively continues for 120 kilometres. So the upside here is enormous. We've concentrated predominantly on the 3.6 kilometres because we have a project in that already. 18 million tonnes at 1.05% copper and 0.14 cobalt are the key takeaways here. We also have 29 grams silver, which is high silver, as I mentioned, and lead and zinc as well. So from a copper equivalent basis, it's 18 million tonnes at 2.46% copper. We also have a lower grade halo around the resource, which we should be able to get some of that as 17 million tonnes at 0.09 cobalt and lower grade coppers at 0.26. This is what I mentioned before. The resource here, as you can see, the VARDY MARLEY is the project as it stands. Interestingly, in 2017, we basically got a resource. In December 2017, we raised $30 million. That importantly gave us the momentum to completely drill out the VARDY MARLEY to a predominantly measured and indicated status. That goes to my first point in regards to not having to drill this year. We have enough measured and indicated resource to get a reserve, which will come out in the PFS. We'll be getting a reserve statement out in the PFS, which will be the VARDY and MARLEY component. Amy goes for 6 kilometres. We know, you can see the drilling we've done there. It just does, it continues, and that will be a focus over the coming years in expanding the mine life effectively of the current VARDY MARLEY resource. The pit in 2019, you can see the pit shells, and the pink is the underground stopes, which were designed as part of the scoping study, obviously been updated as part of the PFS. This is the scoping study project sort of parameters, 11-year mine life, 2 million tonne per annum, as I mentioned, and you can see the breakdown on an annual basis of the metal content. The 13.6 thousand tonnes of copper in con, metal in con, and the 2,000 tonnes of cobalt also in a concentrate. Interestingly, the cobalt product we produce is a cobalt sulfide product, and extremely saleable. It's a interesting cobalt world out there. Cobalt really is the spunk here in a lot of ways, obviously the copper as well, but the cobalt upside, it has been very stagnant for the last 2 years since effectively prices collapsed, EV sales not nearly as good. I'm really starting to see a lift up in that now and interest in our ethical cobalt. So there's outside of the Congo, there is very few projects, near-term cobalt projects such as ours, in jurisdictions such as ours. So we believe our cobalt is going to be extremely sought after, and it is, which is very good in terms of financing in the future. As I mentioned, we've done the scoping study. Pre-feas is in progress, and in the near term, we'll be delivering that, which is very exciting. In terms of subject to that, we go straight into definitive feasibility study. We're currently undertaking environmental impact studies. Baseline studies have been finished, so permitting is targeted for next year, Q4 next year. Permitting aligns with mining license, which aligns with shovel ready. So, you know, our target here is by the end of next year to have a shovel ready project. Copper and cobalt, they're our 2 main projects. And as I mentioned, the cobalt, it's very leveraged. On any day, different day, depending on pricing, it's a 50-50 revenue split between those 2 products. Nice products to be in. The leverage, obviously, to the EV thematic is huge. Where we believe that the cobalt price, not really reflective here of what's going to happen in the future. There was, interestingly, the cathode market for lithium ions is currently $7 billion US, and it's forecast to be in the order of 58 billion. So you can see the growth by 2024. So you can see the growth which is expected. Capital structure currently sort of in the order of 50 odd million market cap, a bit more today. We have a very good board, which we got a new board member on earlier this year, recognising that we're going into development stage. So Fred and Andrew are both experienced technical operators, been around a long time. They've both come to the board in the last 12 months, brought a lot of strength. And we're basically ready to go to build this copper-cobalt project. I believe my time is nearly up, so I thank you all for looking online. And once again, this PowerPoint presentation will be put on our website. Thank you very much for your time.